Really pulverize those dastards back there, Soleil.
Nice work.
I chased off those bandits. Did you see them run? Yipe, yipe, yipe. Oh, tails between their legs. At first I was like, what is this? What are you saying here? But with the second sentence, it makes sense now. Dirty dogs. Who's the best town watch in this or any other world? Us, that's who.
Wait up!
Wait up. What was that about? Yipe, yipe, yipe. Hmm? Back for more, eh? We didn't. We're just calling some friends to this little party. What? Ma'am, there are too many of them. No way we could take them all on.
Come on.
Come on, turn that frown upside down. Know what you have then? Smile. What my father taught me. If you can't smile, stand on your head. That'll turn your frown upside. What a crock. Let's see if you're still smiling once my friends get the best of you. And attack!
Bring it on.
I guess the report was false. It's pretty calm here. That's fine by me. I'd off from coming to the rescue. Maybe we can get a little rest and relaxation while we're here.
Hey!
Hey, listen up! Oh, he says that anyway. Trouble's brewing. I watched chase off some bandits. But they returned with friends. Or coming. This town's about to be sacked. What? Then we've got to get in there and help. Yes, let's. The town watch is way in over their heads. Oh, it's said they have a skilled mercenary leading them. He's also got the happiest band of men I've ever seen. They're all smiles. Wonder who she is. Smiles, you say? Can't be. Soleil.
Yes.
That's her name. So you know this girl. Believe she dare come to such a dread place as this. Don't know my daughter. Doesn't get the chills easily.
What?
Soleil is your daughter? Isn't your child off in her deep realm?
Well...
She should be. Soleil is her own woman. Boss of nature. She's gathered a band of do-gooders around her. She is just like that. Soleil and her men shouldn't be here. These bandits mean business. Wait, Laszlo. Sure that this Soleil is your daughter? Just run in. It could be some sort of trap. Okay, so I got to bring 6 units here. This is your best friend's favorite FE character. Hold on, who all am I bringing here? Ah, it's that they were in the center. What it was. So you're probably gonna want a heart seal and a second seal. And a master seal, sorry. Is there a good dagger that you can get out afterwards? Not really. Here, I'll forge something later. This is what I'll do. And then she can use that. Let's turn her into a Mouser Ninja for a little bit, which will give her some really awesome res growths. And then she can fill that niche while Midori's preparing for that niche. Okay. Yeah, the high movement characters here. Let's, yeah, be bringing both characters. Yeah. Laszlo's gonna maybe suck a little bit. Bring both parents here. Okay, so I for sure gotta bring Niles. Here. And then, like... oh, maybe I bring Leo instead. Something like that. Definitely bring Xander. Kyle's pretty darn strong here. Silas and Camilla? Maybe what I'll do? And then our squads. We're gonna have to get in there, aren't we? Maybe I'll pair up with Azura. Maybe what I'll end up doing. Do one child unit in each side here. Here. Xander can be here. We can have these two here. One flyer for each side. Wait a second. Oh, that counts as woods. I was like, how do I get through here? Okay. Yeah, that's because base Soleil has pink hair and looks similar to a character from an anime he watches. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, that's her default hair color. But with Baruka as a mother with the blue hair here, that's the blue you end up inheriting. You can always change it back to default values with save data editor. How do you actually get that pink hair Soleil? I know it's the default / canonical thing. Maybe you pair up with Felicia or something for her? Turn into a weird magical unit or something? Wonder. Alright, we've got these mechanists here. Maybe we should have both parents together. Yeah, something like this. Soleil inherited her grandmother's hair in canon. Her grandmother being, friggin' Olivia. I kept on wanting to say Ophelia for some reason because that's the name that's more at the forefront of my memory now that we're playing this, that I kind of forgot Olivia's name for a hot second. Well, that is kind of interesting, though. Sure, do that. Yeah. This'll be fine. Oh, wait, you know how to get pink-haired Soleil in-game as female Corn, huh? Interesting. I knew it. That's Soleil over there. Stunban over there. Alright. This town looks half ravaged already. These bandits are no fools. I don't know how Soleil and her friends staved them off the first time. We're going to have to figure out something to save them, and this town. This is going to get ugly fast. I like that barrel too, or that pile of wood, or whatever the heck. There are piles of rubble around town. These may be useful. Select grab to pick up rubble. To drop it, select set. Then select a spot where you want to put it down. Oh, does it block them? Oh. Oh, it probably blocks them, doesn't it? Huh, to funnel them certain ways, I would imagine. Huh. Heck also shows up in Revelation. Interesting. How many are there? Just 2? Alright. Step 1, haul ass. I move Soleil? Nope, not yet. What? Wait, I might have to talk with Laszlo. What I might have to do. Rather than my unit. Okay, so hold on. Hold on a hot second. Which I guess he can just rush over there with Baruka. Is what I can do. But in that case, I'll put into his inventory a Master Seal and Heart Seal. What I'll do. Hold on, just give me a second. Yeah, she does not start out automatically. So I remembered us starting around the top. I have false memories about her starting up there, too. Just to start running on over, I think. Yeah, let's see here. And then Laszlo. Take the spare bronze dagger. And then... Master Seal, Heart Seal. There. Lots of goodies to give to her. Okay, now I'm good. Okay. Now move the obstacles and stuff. I think I'm still gonna do this. Get over this way. One extra tile of movement with the separations. Okay. Then better do this. Can't separate here yet. That. Alright. Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit of brutality, isn't it? Is there any reward for the green guys living, I wonder? Gotta look it up. Oh, I forgot to press the button, this as well. Fire Emblem Fates Paralog 21. Let's see here. Bright Smile. So... rewards. What is going on here? If you keep Soleil's 4 Lancers alive, the player will receive a Draco Shield, a Physic, and a Friendship Seal. That's pretty nice, but it's not a It's not something that's a complete exclusive thing that I miss out on forever, so I'm okay with passing it up. This is actually something I talked a little bit about in the video essay that I was working on recently in regards to game essence, the risk and reward. The fun that comes with managing the risk and reward. I used cold reception as an example, where that was the one where it's like, I could bum rush the villages, get rewards from them, and prevent enemy reinforcements, or I could turtle over here and play it a little bit safer, but then more enemies come over a more gradual period of time, and I don't get what goes on. I'll be able to make it here next turn, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Alright, so get over here. Get over. I don't know. There's one that can reach right. I can deal with one. That's probably fine. I just stay paired up with Azura? I mean, I'll be pretty safe in the forest with the Grim Yato, right? Probably. Dang it. I get as much there as I had hoped. Starting to think that I probably should have brought 2 healers. This map. Kinda starting to feel here. Second. Maybe just for a partner, I can just give you the replica and then you can deal with a bunch of these guys because you're pretty strong, Niles. Does have to be said. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, if they do land a hit, it's pretty unlikely. Oh, the lag in the initial time. It will do a lot. Oh, are you kidding me? Thanks, Fates RNG.
I won't surrender.
Oh, okay.
I did it.
Wow. Okay. Oh, 2 can reach me, actually.
No need to worry.
I swear. I fully expected that to hit me, I'm gonna be honest.
Don't be reckless.
Okay, this is fine. But less fine with these guys coming in. Okay. Could always recruit Soleil and then just run up into a more defensible position like this. Is what I could maybe do. Yeah, let's see here. No! Oh my goodness. Thank goodness it doesn't just immediately separate there. And maybe I will do something like that because this is not a great situation. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling here.
Father?
What brings you here?
You all right?
All right, Soleil. Always. I am your daughter, after all. Nothing ever gets to me. Not even these bandits. Well, I mean, maybe I was worried. But only daughter. Okay, I'll admit it. This is bad. I can't bring myself to tell my men. Soleil, I always said to keep on smiling. Sometimes it's fine to drop it if it feels like an act. Still, you have to forgive me if I smile, looking at you here. Grown into such a hero. Let me share one of my secrets. Battle is turning against me. I can't smile. I laugh. A lot. It really confuses the enemy. Then I get the upper hand. I'm smiling again before I know it. Wow, that's brilliant. See, there's that smile again. An honest smile. Nothing lovely. Ready to smile? Laugh? Whatever it takes out there to win? Yeah! Alright, yeah. Let's head and take with some inputs here. Trade that out. Switch that we'll have, I guess, the same amount of move, but I can traverse over water afterwards like this. Like anyone can reach me here right now anyway, but hey. Let's see. Use the Master Seal first to give us a little bit more movement, I think. In fact, I can just initially promote into Bow Knight to get lots of movement out of here, and then Heart Seal into Master Ninja. What I'm thinking here. So it probably makes sense. Alright. Let's ride a horse for like 1 turn. That sounds like a great idea to me. I don't know where I materialize this bow from. Go. A Bonet comes with a little bit of extra res, right? If I want to actually level up in that for a while. Whatever. Let's have curiosity. If I were to... Yeah. Maybe I'll chill out here. Then the real Slim Shady's over here. One guy there. Theo go there. Be Ophelia for just a para partner for now. Then just... Yeah, no one's gonna hit him very hard except for this guy. Your res is super good. Maybe I'll do this. What I'm thinking here. Alright, father and daughter work together over here. The crit with the Mechanist is so goofy. He yells out as it shoots out the shuriken. Okay. Then maybe let's say... I want to start moving more into the center. What do I want to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dark Knight Ragnarok. I don't know. Here. More movement this way if I want it. Oh yeah, and there's the these things. Replica has that now. Oh, and they're prioritizing going after these guys where they can. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting them all saved. It's not happening. No shot. So I may as well just, like, retreat then? Now that I have this rubble, what's the most effective way to use it, I wonder? So even if all three hit him, he'll be fine, right? Wait, they don't have counter, right? I fully expected to see it there for a hot second, I'm gonna be honest. By my luck, Fire Emblem. I fully expected it. Okay. Yeah, I would be killing here if I had that sword that I traded with Ophelia. Okay. This is fine. Okay. This is not too bad then. Uh-oh. Kinda hoping more guys would go after Kyle. Than ended up happening. Yeah, I think they might just all have to die. Some sacrifices for the sake of Soleil. Oh, well. At least I don't have to worry about Xander taking on some big damage right now then. At least there's that. Yeah, I think it might be time to turtle. Ouch, ouch. I'm just saying I like turtles and form one myself. Is what it might just be time for. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not running down this way after all, I don't think. So, your defense and res is pretty good. If you want to just deal with this guy? Dang. I just have to rush in and kill some guys. I might just have to do one that we can reach here. Alright, yeah, I'll deal with this set of guys here, I'm thinking. Alright, weird Mechanist Laszlo. Miss. Nice. Very cool. 1 EXP point. Okay, and then we Odds aren't actually as much in my favor. Thought they might be. Well, you can do it, assuming I first get a little bit of a love tap with Mariah Carey. I was thinking about getting some bow experience with Azura, but it's like, I can use the experience here a little bit more. I get 2 points. She'd only get 1. So much more worth it. Alright, then we do this. We use Data Axe. That.
Poor thing.
1 point. Alright, and then can use the Azure Indigo. Oh, we should give that to Soleil after this battle. That should be the sword for her.
We made it.
That's basically the sword that she has in her sprite art anyway. Alright, can I? Not really. Okay, but I can eat a couple hits here. And Midori's the only one that you can go for. So let's get experience where we can. I can kill you next turn. Surprised you don't have your box on your back. Thought that might go with the cannon class here. I guess maybe not. Not blocking anyone here, are you? Okay, I was about to say, if the danger area leads over here the moment that I take Soleil out of there, that would kind of suck, wouldn't it? All right, let's see here. Now we are going ahead and I could even do something like that. But for now, we are going to become a master ninja. Wow, that was a really awesome horse ride for a whole 1 turn. That was amazing. 10 out of 10. Would ride again. Now it's time for ninja stuff. So even though this is meant to be a Hashido class, no matter what mother she has, Soleil can always go into Master Ninja. Same with Laszlo. All of the Awakening characters have a Hashidan secondary class set. Laszlo's is Ninja. Thing that, you know, you can just get like a good handful of Master Ninja units in Conquest, if you like. Yeah, sure, let's go for it. I was thinking about switching to Xander and giving him some axe experience, but Okay. Guess I can do that here, but then those sword guys might wreck me. So, I guess it's a little bit more Siegfried for now. On using this dark sword.
You're right where I want you.
Absolutely wrecked.
Is that all?
Okay. If I set it there, then, are enemies gonna spawn back here, I wonder? If I set it there, then they're all gonna have to go this way, and then can't quite wall as well. So, where would be the best place for setting it, I wonder? Right on the bridge? And then they have to take like a super long roundabout way to get to me? Start going that way. Just thinking, this is a really nice one-tile little funnel that I can make use of. I have a feeling that reinforcement will spawn over here. I have a little bit of a funny feeling knowing Fire Emblem. Also, wait, what's the objective here? Okay, it is route. Not just defeat the boss. Okay. Would it be advantageous to put this onto here? Limit their routes. That'll just force them to come up through here. And then they'll probably start wanting to go to the right. So maybe the best spot to put it is here. And then that'll funnel them all to have to go this way. They won't be able to go through here. I'm gonna have to get my other allies out of there first, but... So if I put it here... Just thinking. If it's here, then they have to go across the bridge, and they'll have another way to make it over anyway. If I put it here, then they can cut through here, and they can just make it there a little faster. This will spread them out a little bit more if I have it here. And I can also have a unit that's here, potentially sniping anybody that wants to come over and play there, I guess? I don't know. Let's be at the ready to set it here. I won't set it here until I get my allies out of there, but... yeah, there's no shot I do this while saving all these guys. It's not happening. I'm not going for it. That ain't happening. Alright, these guys will die. I don't think I'll be able to pull out my allies on the next turn. Xander and Ophelia is probably going to take 2 turns to get out of there. Most likely.
Shall we?
Yeah, we shall.
Just in the nick of time.
Why is it that the male berserkers have nowhere near as much exposed ass? Oh, Fire Emblem. Of course you went into the forest. But hey, at least I still have a 100% chance to hit you. That's nice. Okay, I gotta figure out how the heck I'm getting out of town now. Oh, yeah. It's a map. Alright, well, have fun down there. I did what I could. I've done everything I can for you. In fact, I can always pull back here and then place this from the other side rather than placing it here and then having to deal with these guys that are still over here. It's probably going to be the safer thing, I would imagine. Alright, let's get ready. Let's get ready to set up shop here. And the only way to get through is with this until the game inevitably spawns reinforcements back here, which I am sure it will. Get over quite yet. Same amount of movement. This is fair enough to go for. I do have a shield when it comes down to it. Let's use the layoff. Poke.
Glad that's over.
Get experience where we can. Goodness, we're just out of range there. Let's get out of here, I think. Let's start making our way outie. Yeah, have fun dealing with it, friendo. Maybe to transfer metery too. I don't know. Alright. They're gonna be distracted by those guys for a little bit. Their sacrifice will not be in vain. Their sacrifice is so that I can recruit Soleil. So... sacrifice will be remembered. Ooh. Yes. Alright, yeah. Ooh. Wow. Maybe they don't want to be sacrificed. I mean... never mind. Get 4% crit. Random guy. I gotta get him. Like that guy in the arena in that one SpongeBob episode. Gotta get out of here! Too late! Oh my good gracious. Ooh, this guy's gonna take him down with you. Die! Look at that. Alright, okay, I don't need to transfer. Alright. Silas be okay? Or the Silas replica against the one guy? Sure hope so. So I'll give him a little bit more defenses. Be in a bit of a safer position. Why can't I set? Can I not on, like, force tiles? I can't on force tiles. That would actually make it easier to put that obstacle there. Then it's too late for that now. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't know how it worked. It's bad, actually. We'll be fine against the one, right? They can't even reach him. These guys are a little bit of a concern. Might be able to deal with them here and now, though. I think that's what I'm going to do. In fact, maybe I shouldn't have moved Niles and the Silas replica around the other way. At all. I mean, yeah, all my units can start moving down this way. No one else can reach there, right? No, I'm gonna need a kill with someone else here. Soleil. Assuming Soleil will live. What's your res at now? Res is at 40. Oh, hello, Lancer. A whole lot of words. Hold on. Could raise up your res even more. Wow, apparently Butler does not use that. I could give you your mother. Pretty sure that Malignite will probably boost res. Just thinking here. That, why is this debuffed? And, but you're gonna be doing what, like 32 then? Not gonna be doubling me. I'm gonna be doubling you. Which means I should be able to eat a hit. Should be fine. Those words mean something if you believe hard enough. Also, just woke up. How are you doing? Oh, jeez. I'm doing pretty alright. Just big chilling with some Emblem Fates over here. We're trying to get Soleil right now. No, not separate. Let's transfer. I wish I could see the parrot bonuses, like, during transferring. It might actually be better to transfer the Mechanist. Look this up. Serenus Forest. Let's get the answer here. Fire Emblem Fates. No, not characters. Classes, pair-up stats. Let's see here. So, for Malignite, yeah, you boost defense and res. Nice, that would help her out. And then Mechanist is also defense res. And then strength. Okay, get out of here. Shoo! So maybe I'll just transfer her dear old dad. What I might do instead. Like this, and then she can go here. This'll be fine. This'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Miss. Ouch. Whatever. I can eat this other hit without dying, I'm fairly certain. And yeah, maybe I should just skedaddle here. Not too bad, I won't be able to heal right now. Probably should have switched so I'd have more movement on the next turn. Well, too late. No, I'm gonna need some units to hold down the fort over here while we, get all sorted out with... Oh! The replica counts for having the thing, too! I don't need to run over there with a replica. Ah. Okay. So, we can turn this into our little fort over here. Just gonna have to be those guys that go around the other way. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, this is fine. This is okay. Ouch. They always manage to land their hits, I swear. Always gonna happen. I didn't even realize that guy could make it over here, but I have my shields and lots of res anyway, so it doesn't even matter. I don't know why it's doing the "you might die" sound here. Okay, nice. Okay, this is still a bit spooky scary. Maybe I shouldn't have placed the obstacle yet. Should have gotten out there with some more units. I'm gonna press the button in case. You have a metric butt ton of res. Only those guys that can make it over there right now, so I could always wall here. Is what I could actually do. And you have a lot of res, so you're not gonna care. In fact, maybe I should just wall with Kyle, like, right here. Like, what are they gonna do to him? Tickle him? They're not really gonna do much. I will end up doing something like that. And then meanwhile, over here... Been a while. Who did Kyle get with again? Saw Redhead Midori, and you're blanking on who the mom is? It's Selena. Who it is. Just so that we could have the Christmas theme going on here with the green and red. Specifically for this stream. Let's see here. I'm probably gonna need to do stuff here with Xander. Curiosity with the axe. Oh, you can't even do damage there at all. It's fine, then. Give this man some axe experience. Sure, I'll just heal that here. Okay, you guys... I'm gonna be honest, I did not even notice when that happened. I knew that reinforcements were gonna come, I wasn't sure when. You have a lot of res, you can deal with this crap. Oh crap. I might dead. I might dead, yes. Love her that her name is Midori, which means green, but her hair is red. Clearly, her parents are colorblind. Yeah, that's what's going on here. Alright, this is actually a little bit scarier than I thought. Hold on a hot second. And maximize how many attacking units we're going to have here for next turn. Okay. Go with the steel shuriken. I should have even grabbed it with Baruka. Maybe. Haven't I moved? Okay. Okay. Well, let's see what happens here. Ouch.
We have won.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever picture myself doing like a Conquest, no grinding, no DLC, nothing kind of run. Just one chapter to another, plus the paralogs. So it's a classic.
Leave me no choice.
I don't think I could ever see myself doing something like that because, dear God, this is insane. All right. Well, maybe I shouldn't have stuck with the axe then. This is just gonna be continue to be a wall of many foes just waiting for their opportunity to kill me.
Can I help? Not a chance.
Okay. It also sucks not having a dancer. Having a Zura in this has kind of made it a little bit harder. Focus Lunatic, classic, no grind, no DLC, no promotions, no fun. Yeah. That right there. This is insane. My defense is actually pretty good, though. If I've left that barrier there, I can one-shot. And these guys can't do that much. And I go put my wall back next turn, actually? Maybe I could have left the wall there this whole time. I could just deal with these guys. What am I doing? We can do promotions. Relative finisher, no promotions. Run of Awakening. Almost done at chapter 22. Definitely getting there, then. Sure, Indigo. The sword that will probably become Soleil's after this chapter is through. Just hold on to it for now, Silas.
Stand down.
Oh. That's what Silas says about those reinforcements. This is fine. This is fine. I don't know. Here, go kill that guy.
Here I am.
I don't know. Hey. There.
I must never rest.
Hey. And just like... I quite one shot or anything. Playing through Conquest Lunatic Classic right now with virtually no grind or DLC. So make it slow but steady progress and rely on class promotions though. I can't imagine doing it promotionless. And yeah, so you're definitely taking on a whole lot harder challenge than I am here. Certain. Can you attack from range? You can't. I can take advantage of that. I can't quite make it over there. That sucks. Sure, Butler Leo. Get him. There we go. Now maybe we can one-shot. Basically. Conquest promotionless, you're pretty sure is impossible? Maybe. People have beaten Conquest Lunatic Classic with negative growths. Somehow. That's a thing that some people have done. So, I mean, I'm sure promotionless is probably possible. It's really scary, I'd imagine. Because you're still only like 90% sure Awakening promotionless is impossible. Niles with his defenses would be a pretty good candidate up front there. I'll raise his defense and res. I kind of like the sound of that. Here, if I take out this guy,
How shall we proceed?
only 9% sure Awakening promotionless is possible.
That's
Gotcha.
better.
Slightly uncertain. Because that'll mean that Xander can now move into this tile and therefore isn't going to get wrecked by one of those sorcerers coming up here. I can move Kyle into that tile here instead. Sure, this is fine. In fact, it's more than fine, because I see there's another sorcerer down there. So this means that less Dudos are going to actually be able to die off of him. I mean, this guy might die off him, and then the sorcerer can move in. He can eat the one. His shield will be built up by then. It's fine. Okay, but everything is fine. I want these guys focused on Silas. So I'm gonna have to use the replica to finish off this guy. I don't really see much other way around it.
No more. I will protect my friends.
Sweet. Stab!
That was too close.
Okay. Now let's see here. Then, move into this tile. Nah, I'm not sure King right now. Because at chapter 22, the bad guys are finally starting to catch up to your max out unpromoted units, and because all your dudes are unpromoted, none of them have promoted skills. Yeah. Fine that you won't have. This is fine, I'm not doing damage. I just want a wall here. Hey, Harmonia, the other day you watched the YouTuber Presmer refer to your BSP video essay in his own discussion of the problem with the recent Pokemon remix. Oh, interesting. I do kind of wish that people reached out to me before using my work in their own thingamabobs. Not because I'm the kind of person that's like, oh man, that's awful, how dare they, like, make reference to my work. Just because I'm interested in hearing about, like, instances where my work comes up.
Mommy's here.
Just because I'm interested in that. Sweet.
No hard feelings.
One of the, one YouTuber that made reference to my BDSP video essay, like, a year ago or something like that, actually reached out to me about a month ago, inquiring about, ooh,
So that others may live.
doing a video essay on Pokemon, like, the bigger picture of things, and not really knowing where to start with that,
Now
and
we can breathe easy.
looking to potentially work together if I was interested. As well as looking for voice actors in a creative project that he's working on. I was like, yeah, I'm interested.
You all right, dear?
And in his video that had me, he was like, oh, I haven't played BDSP myself, so I'm not familiar with those ones, but if you want to learn about issues with those games, you can check out Acoustic Harmonia's video. Like, I'd recommend checking him out. And about a year ago, I had commented on that video with a timestamp to that moment where he said that he would recommend checking out Acoustic Harmonia. I was like, I wouldn't. That was a jerk. And so when he reached out to me in email, he was like, oh yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with my channel or have seen any of my content at all. I was like, yeah, I have. I've insulted myself in your comments before, as a matter of fact. Look at this friggin' mess. Like, again, I cannot see myself ever playing Conquest Lunatic Classic without, without taking the time to grind and stuff. Man. So exception is Lucina, Morgan, and Kiel, who all have Ether. That's a nice thing. Was that through, like, inheritance there? Or, well, through Lucina, at least, but, can I... Rez isn't the best. You can probably eat one. Bella's is the same in Berserker, actually. She has more health, but I can't set with her. Okay, I just need to eat a hit, and then I'm good. At least an insane amount of Fate's reinforcements. Yeah, that's right. Oh my goodness. I thought there was still a Lancer alive down here for a second. How wrong I was. You know, the nice thing about Replica Xander here, though, is if he gets a little bit low on health, he can just... Yeah. His Replica can just be healed up. This guy doesn't even want to attack anymore. So maybe I should just chill out like this. Like that. Lucina and Kiel always inherit Ether, so you marry Lucina to get on Morgan. Okay, for a third generation Morgan. Get it that away. Alright, let's increase how many units I have here, just in case there's more reinforcements over here. Chapter 19, and you still haven't gotten Mozu to a level where you can promote her yet. Jeez. I would love to be able to do stuff like this where I can. As a matter of fact. Get some experience on Soleil. Because, yeah, there's no ranged physical guys here, I don't believe. Apart from those Bone Knights down south, but they can't reach her or anything. I don't think there's any issue with that. Okay. Ah, it's fine. Oh, boy. Well, that might end up attacking Soleil, but whatever. This is fine. Yeah, I can't go for that. Oh. Can't even run out of here to heal right now. Alright, I guess this is life now. Yeah, I knew someone would go up there. And he can take it. It's okay. Sick. You didn't even have to take it. Awesome. Now these dummies don't know how to deal with obstacles. So maybe I can just kind of use this spot to farm with Soleil. Maybe what I can do. This is probably an appropriate place to start turning off combat animations, right? This is going to take way too long. I must have some skills that have something to do with player phase. Something or other. Considering I do damage when I'm attacking on player phase, but not on enemy phase. I have some skills related to enemy phase then, I guess. Something or other. I am going to need to have Niles kill that guy. by being adjacent to Azura. Okay. Okay. Here, get a little bit more movement this way. Okay, yeah, this is a situation we have on our hands. Okay. Sure. Give it a go. Let's get a whole bunch of levels on Soleil.
See that?
That'd be cool. Get that res up and stuff. Whoops, I'm pressing the wrong buttons here. Sure. My heel broke. Get out of there. No one has pass or anything, right? I hope. That'd really suck. Nah. Nah. Okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna turn off combat animations. I forgot. Okay, chill. Chill out. Oh, the Bow Knights have passed!
Oh,
Hold the phone. Hold on. Hold on, just a ticker here. I don't know what we'll do without it. I'll never financially recover from this. Do they all have it? This guy has it too. Don't really need to build up any bond between parent and child because it's gonna be automatically at sea after this anyway. I can always pick her. There's no real good way to trade Ophelia there. I don't think. Can I even build up bond of curiosity here? Where's my thingamabob here? So Leal supports comprised of Ophelia, Sophie, and Nina. Okay. Nice if I could dance. Thing or other. Let's see here. Shout out to the ad having white at the bottom of the screen so you can't see how long it takes for the ad to end. Oh, Twitch ads. Goofy is you. Alright, get some more axe experience here. I am going to take Ophelia. Find me. Start building up some bond here, I think. I can give Xander someone else shortly. I can do. I don't really want someone in this tile right now, I don't think. Oh, the moment he loses a pair partner. I'm willing to use a save state off of that. I knew that there was a risk coming with it. But I didn't quite realize that it's gonna be quite like that. So maybe I don't that quite this turn. And maybe I just do this for now instead. Because, yeah, these sorcerers. How does the weapon triangle go again? I think that, homes count as swords. I think I gotta be using Siegfried. Right? Hold on. Hold on a hot second here. Okay, there's a sorcerer. Oh, but then I immediately kill, which means the other ones can move in. Oh wait, my shield is full right now, and the bottommost one I don't think is going to have enough movement to come in. Which means that this actually, I think, works. Can you make it? Oh gosh dang, you can make it in. So if I'm killing them all, then that's a bit too much. And maybe that was my issue. I didn't pay attention before. The D&D series you follow on Twitch, but you almost never catch it live, so you always have to catch the VOD, and having to watch like 4 hours every 15 minutes on a 2-hour stream is very annoying. That's modern Twitch ads for you. Hmm. I wonder here. Those sorcerers might wreck him. Hold on. It is a little bit better. Hold on. Fun fact about Twitch ads, if you go back in the VOD, that ad timer doesn't reset. Yeah, the more defense here could probably help. I can't actually make it there. Oh. Let's see. These bow knights won't be able to get a clear shot on her unless one of these guys moves out of the way, which they might. Hold on. Just experimenting with the laws of time a little bit right now. Don't mind me. Kind of curious. Oh my goodness, but as long as I don't kill you. Never mind. Also think it doesn't reset when you pause, but you can't prove that one. Yeah, I'm gonna use the laws of time here. And just try and find, as I would call it in my video essay that's coming out in a couple days here. Let's see if I can find the artful solution. Situation that I found myself in. Yeah. All these sorcerers are a major problem. I'm starting to think maybe I just pull back. General. New video say, what's the topic? Games is art. What it is. Oh, I plan on releasing that on the 24th. I'm gonna have to re-render the most recent version tonight and then proof watch it sometime tomorrow and make sure that it all looks okay. Here, let's do this. I can get that kill. Yeah, so that'll certainly be something, won't it? Okay. And then I am gonna need to have a whole bunch of tiles occupied. You can reach her, so I can't have her in there. Gonna need to be someone else, I think. Tile's a good option. Yeah, I'll even go with Kyle. I have max bond with him already. Oh yeah, this is a bond that I can still build up. I was thinking Midori was the one I was recruiting this map, but okay. This works okay. And then yeah. Alright. My choke point has been altered. Pray I do not alter it further. Yeah, and by doing such little damage here with fire, it means that it's a lot less enemies that can actually come after me. That actually works amazingly. It's just gonna really mess my low turn count run up. Only Niles could replicate. Yeah, he's gonna be incurring some damage here. That's fine. I think of games as art, your brain immediately goes a shadow of the Colossus and Okami. Mind if I ask why? Because one of the questions I ask at the end of the video that I hope I'll get some interesting comments about is, what is it to you that makes games artful? Why? Let's see here. Yeah. Let's be doing stuff here. do enjoy doing some stuff. This guy doesn't have pass. This guy does. He can't quite make it over right now. I'm fine to eat, like, anything, right? I hope, probably. Guess we'll find out. I can even go on the defense here. If I can do. Just to be a little bit safer. Okay. Yeah, I thought you might. Okay, that's fine. That actually makes you super easy to kill now. That works for me. This is gonna be so slow going. You ready for the never-ending chapter? Okay, just in case something dumb happens. But a great way to farm experience on some of my new units here. Ooh. Heck yeah. This is how we're gonna make some kid units a little bit stronger. Alright, let's see here. Safety, I'll actually do that. And then, go ahead and do this. Build up that bond. And hails yeah. This'll work. It's just gonna be really, really slow. So I guess I may as well talk a little bit about that video essay in the meanwhile. This is what I may as well do. So, throughout this university semester, I had to develop three small essays, 3 different game analyses in this one game design class that I was in. Let's see here. I'm gonna do this, methinks. They can be on any of the topics throughout the term. The very first topic that we talked about was games as art. Just very briefly. We really didn't explore it that in depth because we only had one class where we were really talking about it, and the other class, we had 2 classes per week. The first class was just, here's the introduction to the course. So we didn't really get to explore games as art that much, but I was like, oh, that's a thing that I want to do. So my 3 game analyses were games as art, violence in games, which is my most recently published video essay, and story in games, with the chosen game to analyze being Metroid Prime. The violence in games, I'd asked if I could take like a general gaming industry approach, and the professor said okay, and that's what that was. And as for the games as art, I initially planned on doing that on Firewatch, and I did. And I got like a 65% on it. I got a really sucky grade. The environmental storytelling one that I did, I got 100% on, and that was the first video essay that I'd made. So you could either do a written piece of maximum 600 words, or a video essay of maximum length 10 minutes. And 600 words is like nothing. In 10 minutes for a video essay, I can get a bit over 1,400 words, as I found out. So, I probably should have started out with a video essay format, considering what do you think about my channel? It's kind of my stronger suit. And on one of my video essays, the professor literally left the comment saying, you know, your video essays have made me really realize how OP this format can be for some students, and that's something I'm gonna have to reconsider for next semester. It's like, oh, okay, well, but hey, as long as I get a good grade now, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, I had done the environmental storytelling on Metroid Prime and gotten 100%. I redid my first video essay, Games as Art. We needed to keep the same topic, like the same category, so it still had to be Games as Art, and it still had to be focused around the same game, Firewatch. But I asked the professor, is it okay if I do it like my violence in games essay here, where it's a more general gaming industry approach, but Firewatch is one of my key examples? And the professor said, okay. So I instead decided to take a broad kind of perspective towards games as art, and just use Firewatch as one of my main examples was all. So Firewatch comes up once or twice in the essay there. And the reason why my initial one sucked so much in terms of the grade is I had a very different approach to it. I essentially created a definition for art, which was, art is that which has deeper meaning and is up to interpretation and has, like, different ways that you can analyze it and stuff, because there's all this hidden detail that you can appreciate about it. And with Firewatch, I did this short paper on a lesson in escapism. I talked about how the main character, Henry, was dead set in his way of he's gonna be together with his wife forever. He doesn't want her working a far-off job because he wants to see her all the time. But then when she develops dementia, it becomes a little bit too difficult for him. And he takes the most remote job that he can possibly take as a Firewatch in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere. Like, the loneliest and most isolated possible job that he could have taken. So he essentially escapes from... He wants to get away from what he feels like is his responsibilities and what is too painful for him to be dealing with. And things are going pretty alrighty there for a while until there's all this conspiracy stuff going on. It's like, whoa, what's going on here? There's all this weirdness. Like, are we being watched? Is there some crazy government conspiracy here? No, it's just the previous Firewatch that's trying to screw with him and get him to go away because apparently the previous Firewatch wanted to escape from some of his responsibilities as well after he was kind of a neglectful adult and kind of responsible for his son passing away, and he was just like, yeah, I don't want to return to society after that, I want to go be alone in the forest. You being the new Firewatch out here kind of threatened that escapism, so he was doing everything in his power to get you to screw off by setting the whole forest ablaze. And eventually at the end, you have to return back home, have to get in this rescue helicopter and go back home. And that's when the credits roll. So, that conclusion, I kind of was like, hey, this was, Henry has to return to his responsibilities as, you know, someone else's escapism got in the way of his escapism. And with that final prompt of go home, not only is Henry returning to his responsibilities in the video game, but we are returning to our responsibilities in real life, because video games themselves are a form of escapism. It's leaving behind our real life stuff that's going on and taking a break with, here's this scenario, this completely fictional scenario that we can embrace becoming the character in the game and escape for a while. And, you know, Firewatch seems like it's going to take you on this grand adventure of this government conspiracy thingamabob, but then when it turns out that nothing like that is going on, it really tells you to check your expectations and get back to your responsibilities that you had escaped here in the first place from. Whether that be Henry as the Firewatch, or you playing the video game as a nice little break as you return to reality in a lot more jarring of a way than you would have initially expected. That was what I tried to focus my paper on. I got a 65% on it, because I had to keep it in like 600 words, and I did a really bad job of it. Because you don't have much time to do that. So I was like, and then I started reading the topic a bit further. When I realized that I had to redo the topic, I started really delving into several readings on the topic. So there's like 3 different academic papers that I cite in this upcoming video essay. Like, it's insane. I really started delving into what academics were saying about games as art. And there was a couple papers that I read that were like, oh yeah, it's a really common pitfall that a lot of people will fall into, where they'll just make some definition of art, show one specific game and how it adheres to that definition that they made, and then therefore conclude that games are art. And it's like, oh, I guess that's what I did. Is that one of the reasons why I got kind of a shitty grade? By making my own definition of art, showing why Firewatch adheres to that definition, and then concluding that games can be art? So I decided to go ham and instead take a much broader perspective of, let's not make a definition of artfulness, but let's just analyze some artful things that games can do and why we consider them artful. So in the version that I submitted for the class, I had 2 key paragraphs that were each about 5 minutes long. One was on play as art, where I talked about how, you know, if you're doing something like a gymnastics routine at the Olympics, then if you're a super talented athlete, then maybe that'll be seen as really artful as you do an awesome and super impressive play. Whereas if you're just some random member of the audience that comes up and swings around on the bars, you're not going to get a very high score, and it's not going to be seen as very artful, because we consider there to be something artful about impressive play. And I started talking about how that applies to video games, and how a well-designed video game will strive to foster those artful moments in its play. As for the art of narrative, I talked about how video games are kind of unique as a storytelling format in that you are placing yourself into the character's shoes and experiencing those emotions on a more personal level, considering they're inadvertently happening to you, and how video games can draw out these emotions to a further scale by both playing into that, or even using the player as a character. And I used the example of Metal Gear Solid 2 for that, but I could have used some other games like Bravely Second or even Bravely Default as another example of that if I wanted to, or Undertale as another good one there. And that was what I submitted, and I got 100% on that, which is awesome. But for the version that I was making for the channel, I was like, oh, well, first of all, I want to delve a little bit more in depth with some examples here. So I added a couple paragraphs onto the play as art section. So that's a lot longer than that alone is like 13 minutes long or something like that, which is longer than the 10-minute allowed time for the university submission version. And I wanted to make some more paragraphs. One of the main reasons why, don't know me, I don't know you, but before I was a bandit, maybe I should just keep playing here. I was swordsman, the best, come on, I'll test my blade on you. I'm gonna have to capture with Niles. It's something I'm gonna have to do here. He has magic counter or range counter or whatever it is. It doesn't seem like it affected there, so maybe it's just from range. When I was reading up on all these academic papers, and even reading up on several ones about these people claiming that games can't be art, the common reason why people were saying that games couldn't be art is because of the emergence of play. All these academics were claiming. Because, oh, crap, this stupid pass bow knight is gonna screw me. Oh, that guy's pass. I can just kill him this turn and then I'll be good. Okay, just in case something dumb happens while I'm trying to capture him. Or I'll just do the old awakening strat of fill up every single tile that he can pass into, I guess is another option. Anyway, in all these papers that I was reading that were saying that games couldn't be art, the most common reason why was because of the emergence of play. If you're making like a film or a book, you're gonna be handcrafting exactly what's gonna be happening at every single step. Whereas in a video game, there's a lot of emergence that happens during the play of a game. Everybody's play experiences could be a little bit different in terms of what happens. Even if the story itself is still handcrafted to go this exact way with a completely linear story. Maybe some player just does circles around in the tutorial area forever and then that's their play experience. Or maybe they stay turtled up in this little hidey hole here for 3,000 years and then don't get to go on with the story because they have to deal with the 50 billion guys here that came in reinforcement spawns instead of rushing down the foes like maybe some other players would, or maybe they don't get the stat boosters that comes from saving all the guys that were around the map. Like, all forms of media are up to interpretation to some extent, but the actual content that you consume through the play of a video game is different from player to player, and I saw a lot of papers that were talking about how, because of this emergence, the developer or artist or writer or whatever the heck you want to call them cannot handcraft the exact experience they want every single person to have. And so I decided to delve into that a little bit further for the third paragraph and spin that on its head to say that that doesn't mean that games can't be art, but rather gives games their own unique artfulness in the art that you can craft as a player through making your own decisions about what will happen. But then I got to this point and I was like, okay, at this point, and I had a video essay done at this point as well, and it was about 25 minutes long. I was like, I'm kind of putting games up on this seemingly infallible pedestal where they're just, heck yeah, let's do it. Where it almost makes it sound like they're a completely infallible art form. Like I'm being like, oh yeah, games are perfect, they're an amazing form of art, everything is great. Maybe I should come up with some examples of some things that undermine the artfulness. I guess I failed the test. Let's capture him. Good job, Niles. Zara was captured. So I decided to make a whole nother section about what impairs art in the context of the video game. I think that's like the longest section out of all of them. And I talk about things like over-monetization of some games, or things like gacha mechanics, or crazy microtransactions, or releasing unfinished games. Things that are lacking on the side of the developer that create a worse gameplay experience. And the argument that I try to make in that is that it doesn't mean that these games can't be artful when they come out unfinished or filled with microtransactions or whatever the heck. That doesn't mean that they can't be artful. Like, look at Tales of Arise, for example. That game is so insanely grossly over-monetized, but it's a fantastic video game. I love that game. So, the argument that I try to make is not that it takes away the capacity of artfulness, or takes away the ability for it to be artful, but just undermines it. Like, let's say this is the ceiling of how artful it can be, it just reduces the ceiling. There are some situations where the ceiling is reduced, like releasing an unfinished game, or there's situations where that ceiling is just put behind a paywall, like is the case with Tales of Arise, for example, is what I try to argue there. So I try to come up with a lot of different examples of games I've played over the past couple of years on the channel of, here's some different ways that games can be undermining artfulness, or even just other situations that I'm familiar with but haven't even played myself. Like modern Call of Duty games being like 250 gigabytes and not allowing you to download other games because no one knows how to compress their data over there. You know? This is the case. So I tried to come up with some things there. And then I think I had things basically done. And then I realized there was another paragraph that I wanted to put into the plays art section, and that was delving further into Sakurai's definition of game essence, which is the fun of balancing risk and reward. So I put in a whole nother paragraph of that about some ways that games can foster this to create a really strong game essence and fun in balancing this risk and reward. And I started using Pokemon Scarlet and Violet as a counter example, because in this video essay for that, I talked about how it lacked this game essence, how you would take high risks for little reward. And I had a whole thing out in my script for that, and narrated out. And I actually made it into the video, but then I was like, you know, I already talk about this in the Scarlet and Violet video essay, and I already shit on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet enough in the what impairs art section. I don't want to give people the impression that I'm just crapping on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet whenever I get the chance, so I cut it out. I do have like the full video of that section made, but I cut it out from the final version. I don't know, maybe I'll release an extended cut version that just has like a minute and a half of crapping on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in the game essence. But I don't know. Maybe there's some way that I could just be like, oh, if you want to see something that lacks game essence, then go check out that video essay. I think just mentioning that this is something we talked about in the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet video essay, but let's go into it a little bit more in depth here and talk about it there. Probably works fine enough. Or maybe I'll feel spicy and just shove in that thingamabob that I cut out anyway. I don't know. I'll probably leave it out, but that's what happened there. And then ultimately, this 10-minute video essay went into a 25-minute video essay around the time that I submitted it. And now, at the time that it's basically done, it's now a 42-minute video essay. So, you know, I really went ham on it. My Metroid Prime video essay for this class, I just uploaded to my channel the exact same version that I submitted to university. My Violence video essay, I near doubled the length of for the channel version to go a lot more in depth on some of my arguments. And then for the games as art, I both went a lot more in depth on what I initially had. I made like 2 full other arguments I wanted to establish and talk about. So yeah, that's probably the most ham that I've gone on a video essay in a while. And I genuinely think that it might just be my new favorite video essay that I've ever done. So I really look forward to releasing it here because my goodness, I went a lot more ham than I ever have in terms of like my research and everything. The most ham that I have in terms of like raw time investment would definitely still be the Scarlet and Violet one with, you know, 7 months for that 7-hour essay. But sorry, it's really hard for me to play and talk at the same time. But in terms of just like the quality of the work, how many references I'm able to bring in, and like the strength of my arguments, I think that might just be my new favorite essay, quite frankly. Let's just keep farming with Soleil. I'm good with this. So yeah. And at the end of this, I mentioned like, hey, there's these other aspects like really cool music or really cool visuals that a lot of people will attribute as really artful about games. And yeah, I agree these can be artful, but they're not uniquely artful about games. These can be artful aspects of other media too. So it wasn't really the point of the essay. If I talked about everything that I thought could be artful about games, then we'd be there literally all day. It'd turn into another 7-hour essay. So, gosh dang it, did I miss a thing? So I mentioned, hey, there's these other kind of artful aspects that I didn't mention because they're not really unique to a video game, and that's what the focus of the essay is on. But I'd love to hear what you think. What to you makes games artful, and maybe there'll be some really interesting discourse in the comments or something. We'll see. Ah, I want res to go up and stuff. Poison Strike. Let's take off Lock Touch for now, sure. Anyway, let's see here. That's my ramble about the whole process with this video essay and how everything came to be. And, I might not be doing any video essays next semester just because of how busy I'm going to be. Unless there's any game analysis in this next game design class I'm going into or something, in which case maybe I'll be making some more. But probably I might be done with video essays for a little while, but this one is a big one that I can be really proud of, and I'll be proud to have it like the forefront of my channel for the next good while here. But yeah, not sure why your brain goes to Shadow of the Colossus specifically, perhaps of how that game makes you feel a lot of emotion and makes you question if you're doing the right thing. That was something we talked about in my history of video games class, where the professor is like, yeah, you're actually a big jerk for killing all these guys. But Okami is like playing an old Japanese painting, but with the art style in the game's lore taking a shit ton from Shinto. Yeah, the art style of that is really cool. Also consider Dark Souls a very artful game too, as that game has a very painful whole world, but the whole premise of the game is based around the idea of never giving up. All the NPCs in the game will eventually give up on their dreams and lose all meaning in their lives and effectively die. The player, meanwhile, never gives up on their quest, never losing the meaning they create for themselves. Yeah, I think with Shadow of the Colossus, that's something that can sort of be applied to some other media. Maybe in the sense of, is what this character on screen doing right? Shadow of the Colossus, since you're the player, it is more so of, is what I'm doing right, and questioning your own actions, so it can definitely embrace that more than other media. Okami is one that I'd say, yeah, this is about the same as you could achieve with other forms of media anyway. Like, you could absolutely have an animated film that is just really artful, that has that kind of art style and makes you go, whoa, that's really cool. So that is something that probably wouldn't have fit within the context of that specific video essay on a game's unique artfulness. But Dark Souls is one that I'd say definitely does, when it's all about the player themselves not giving up and their own determination in crafting that experience. Also, not to say that that's not something artful about Okami, just that it's not something that can be exclusive to the format of a video game. Like, it's still the kind of thing that's worth discussion, but not something that makes video games uniquely artful, is all. Conclusion that I came into after a great many readings. Do I really need to build up Leo's staff level? Sure, adds little bits of experience, whatever. Yeah, let's just keep keeping on here. How about, yeah, so Leo's gonna get wicked powerful. What's gonna happen? We'll build up this Leo-Niles bond. This is gonna be a long chapter. Alright, when it's physical, guys, how about I give experience to Ophelia with the Eldritch Frost here? Yeah, this is gonna be a whole butt ton of experience for these child units. Awesome! Yeah, this is gonna be great. Map. Going to be awesome. This will have worked out really well, I think. This guy does have pass, but he'll have to come into basically this tile anyway and get wrecked. So I mean, what are you gonna do? Not much. So yeah. Anyway, that's my whole ramble with Oh, you're going after Leo now. That'll make them easier to kill. So, well, I guess. Maybe save state from time to time just in case the worst happens. Cool. Be building up bond with those two. Also, Ophelia and Midori want to build up bond as well, so maybe I'll switch to building up bond with them at some point here. I'll have a whole bunch of support conversations after this. Okay, well. I can even sometimes do this, right? I can eat a hit. Yeah, my defense is higher than my res, so if that bow knight comes in, we'll still be fine. Will be the case. We'll be a-okay, no worries here. Just in case the worst happens. Yeah, give that a go. Yeah, we're gonna be here a little smidge while. You know what I could do, technically? I could literally just, like, do some display capture and put the video essay up somewhere on the screen while we're doing this. Give, like, the live commentary, because we're gonna be here a while. It's kind of the case. Just give, like, a sneak preview for anyone that's tuning into this here. I could always show, like, my university submission version that I posted the other day as, like, a channel member thing. That's what I could do. And then know that the thing that comes out in a couple of days, / will already be out by the time this is uploaded. Just like the much more in-depth version. I like that because, yeah, there isn't really much else going on here. Time to die! So yeah, I literally have 3 versions of this essay. Outside of the refining it further and making new versions here, because I'm going to be rendering version 3 of the current version later today. I have my short version, my university submission version, my longer version that I had done at the time that I had submitted it as well, and then like my super long version that's on the channel here. Stuff. I just want to add like a display capture 3. This is art long version V1, which is the 22-minute one here. I feel the inherent storytelling potential of video games isn't as capitalized on as much as it should. I agree. A lot of games, when they're really story heavy, will attempt to be cinematic and more like other traditional forms of media. Metal Gear is a good example of that. instead of focusing on what game specifically as a medium can achieve in that sense. That was something that I talked about in the Metroid Prime video essay on the channel, is how Metroid Prime was a good example of something that's uniquely tellable through the format of a video game, because you have to be the one assuming the role of Samus in that you're exploring this planet and piecing together the story and what the hell is happening here. Like, that's on you. It's not spoon-fed to you. You gotta figure it out. You really gotta be Samus and investigate this whole planet. Whereas something like Metal Gear does make some really awesome, really cool cinematic cutscenes, but it's a passive method of storytelling. It's like other forms of storytelling where it's a more passive approach. You put down the controller, you sit back and be entertained and just take it in, as opposed to giving the player agency and piecing together the story themselves. That was something that was talked about in that video essay there. Well, let's see here. Should I here, screw it. Here's the longer version that I had done alongside the thingamabob when I submitted the original thing. Display capture 3. Device not connected or not available. Alright, well, which monitor is this? That's Asus. This is LG. This is Asus. Okay, so I've got like a 50-50 shot here. I don't know which one is which. Is it this one? Hey, it is! You want to watch a video down here? I was just now realizing I'm here, the game is there, a 3D print cam is here, we're about to pull up a video over here. Man, now all I need is like some Subway Surfer, some Family Guy funny moments, some Minecraft parkour. Man, I gotta really deck this out. Like, Final Fantasy Tactics is one of your favorite stories of all times, and you love what that game has to say about things like classified and religion, but nothing about it only works as a video game. Yeah, it doesn't really unique into the format then. Here, sure, let's go to here or something like that. Or here. Here we go. And then if I just mute the game, this isn't gonna be too loud, is it? Alright, here we go. Sneak preview time while I grind away. Let's see how loud this is. Within the context of the history of media, video games are still a relatively new form of entertainment, having reached mainstream popularity during the 70s and 80s, and the first... Also, one of the things that I did in the later versions, in the version that's going to be coming out in a couple of days here, is I started doing like my violence in games essay, where I have the game that you're currently seeing in the bottom right corner. Because how the order of making these went, in video essay wise, is it was a Metroid Prime one, this up to this version of it, then the violence in video games one, and then coming back to this one to refine the rest of it and make the more content that I did. So I only started adopting that as of the game title in the bottom right thingamabob as of the violence in video games one / depictions in video games essay. And then I later adopted it into my later versions of the stuff here. So, yeah. Within the context of the history of media, video games are still a relatively new form of entertainment, having reached mainstream popularity during the 70s and 80s. I guess it still shows what goes up on the top screen. Video game being invented in 1958, less than 70 good old Tennis years for Two with William Higginbotham's Tennis for Two. There even exists still functioning vehicles today that are older than the entire history of video games. The only context I'm ever going to be able to show my truck in a video essay. Video games haven't had decades or centuries. But it is honestly a good example of, like, there's literally even vehicles that are still functioning that are older than the entire history of video games, to exemplify that video games are a very new media format still. Relatively one form. This short span of media history video games have encompassed has run parallel to an exponential increase in technological prowess, and games even one generation apart could feel completely different. Idea heal. And video games are a media which has taken on many different forms. I thought WarioWare was a good example of many different forms there. As such, we haven't had one exact form of gaming for a long enough time to definitively say, this specific media is what gaming means. Another thing that's worth noting, clips like that with Nintendo Switch Sports are in 720p rather than 1080p. Whenever you download a video from YouTube, from like YouTube Studio, it'll download at 720p because apparently for 1080p, YouTube stores the video and the audio separately. So you can only download 1080p if you download it muted, and sites I do that from, it's usually these super massive file sizes, and it just makes my video editor crash for some reason. I don't know why. If you download from Twitch, it downloads in 1080p, so I try to download stuff directly from my Twitch VODs whenever I can, but there's no easy way to search your Twitch VODs like there is on YouTube, so I literally just have to scroll through months to years of stuff trying to find what I'm looking for if I'm looking for something there, and stuff like Nintendo Switch Sports was exclusive to YouTube anyway, so I couldn't download that from there. But I did recently discover a site that lets me download YouTube videos at 1080p without being an insane file size and without making my video editor shit itself. So, literally in the last couple days, all the footage that I had in this video essay that was just a 720p version, I went to my channel to see if, one, is there a 1080p version that exists, and two, if there is, download it and start replacing everything in the timeline that's 720p with 1080p version. I've been doing that over the past couple days. So like the video, well, I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell with the video quality at like this here. Unless I did this.
I haven't had one exact.
There it might be a little bit more obvious that's, you know, 720p.
This
But,
specific,
you know, a little screen like this, you won't be able to really notice the difference. But just know that there's a difference, and I've been working at trying to maintain this higher quality video from this point onward. I was like, in the last couple of days, I was like, you know what, let's do it. It'll help it more long term, and maybe I should start doing this with the video essays long term. Is whenever I see something that's saved on my hard drive that's in 720p that I want to use in a video essay, let's just take the time to download the 1080p version if it exists, and just make a cleaner looking video at the end of the day. So that's something that I'm trying to do from
media is what gaming means. Rather, gaming encompasses a wide umbrella of different forms. This has made it difficult for academics to agree as of yet on the philosophical question as to whether games are an art form, or perhaps whether games under a certain type can be considered art form.
And that's one of the games that changes as you play it. Gotcha,
but I would
gotcha.
argue, these are not the right questions to be asking.
Because that was a mistake I once made.
Often lead to a similar path.
In my first draft.
Will create their own personal definition of art, demonstrate why a particular example adheres to this definition, and conclude that therefore games can be art.
That was the mistake I made on the first version.
Something of personal importance.
So,
not to say these types
not
of arguments
doing that this time. Maybe I'll still release my initial Firewatch essay one day.
Opposed to the idea of
I thought it was kind of cool.
Rather than create my own personal definition of art and demonstrate why a certain game fits that vision, I would rather discuss some lenses by which many consider to be art.
So there's another 720p thing.
Video games
then I look over here and it's slightly blurry.
But further enhance it to a degree
on a little screen like this, you can't even tell.
By nature of the developer-player co-authorship and the experience of both play and narrative. Beginning with the artful nature of play, it may seem odd at first to consider play to be artful.
Alright. Oh, so in the more recent versions, I put like part 1, play as art and stuff like this. Part 2, narrative as art. Stuff like that. Hello, Yomi Sakuraba. The run is going alrighty. We have it down. It's literally just grinding away at this endless torrent of enemies. So I'm giving a little bit of a sneak preview of this video essay that I'm publishing in a couple days here while this is going on, because this is taking forever.
After all, it is simply fulfilling game objectives.
This is my games as art essay.
The developer expects in pursuit of fun, is it not?
I can get away with this, right?
First, we must consider examples of what can be considered
Let's see if I can get away with this.
Outside of video.
How are things going today, Sakuraba?
Take Olympic gymnastics, for example.
Also, do you go by that or Yomi?
The audience could walk up and swing around on the bars like a child on a playground. But this would not be considered a stand-up performance by any means. The technique and form is far from artful. One may manage to perform all the moves in a complicated gymnastics routine, but if it is accomplished in a feeble manner, one will not get a perfect score.
Thank you, Kyle.
Best argues that an aesthetic sport is one in which the purpose cannot be specified independently of the manner of achieving it. One might argue that such sports are so close to dance that they are candidates to be called art forms. We obviously attribute such aesthetic qualities to particular playings of games.
Okay, I'll go with Yomi there in that case. I appreciate you saying so.
Sports spectatorship, for example, is full of talk of the beauty and elegance of athletic motion.
So in the version that I actually submitted for university, I only had that initial quote there before that point, because I was just under the 10-minute mark. I think I was at like 9 minutes 50 seconds or something like that. So I didn't have time to go in depth with like more quotes, so I just had that initial quote. So this second quote that further exemplifies my point is exclusive to the longer non-submission versions.
Chess competitions as another example, where there's often 2 prizes.
Maybe I do this for the winner, so I don't kill.
And 1 for the best game. Why would this be if we didn't consider there to be an aspect of artfulness towards the play of the game?
Maybe that'll work.
Chess is highly emergent in its play. There exist more possible games of chess than there are atoms in the observable universe.
There's a fact that still insanely surprises me.
Exactly the same is slim. The outcomes of games being the same, though, remains countless.
I can't get away with that.
White wins, or a draw.
Not happening.
But if we only cared about the outcome, there wouldn't be a best game to celebrate.
Only I had a 0 as a dancer.
Emphasis is placed on how the players got here, because we feel there's something worth celebrating, something artful about a perfect play. Just the same as there's something jarring about an exceptionally poor play.
This is fine.
While the outcome is the same, it's the journey, how well play is executed, that changes our experience. This is something shared across both sports
4-5-4 down lane, and look at this pin action. Oh.
So,
and video games.
behold, the only time that I can use wombo combo in a freaking video essay. Because it exemplifies my point. So, yeah, the main argument that I try to make there is just, like, establishing that well-executed play is something that we do see as artful, inherently. What with there being, like, a best game to celebrate in chess, or things like sports, like a really impressive play. Like, I use that bowling clip as a bit of a meme example, because it is pretty funny, but clearly the announcer thought that it was a really impressive play, where he's like, look at this pin action. You know, clearly he thought that it was pretty darn awesome. Or with something like Smash Melee here with the super famous wombo combo clip. And all these players and commentators popping off and being like, oh, wombo combo. They wouldn't be popping off like that if we didn't inherently believe that there was something impressive, artful, just really awesome about impressive play. So that was the main point that I was trying to drive with this opening part. And this is the main part that was, you know, in my university submission version. To be, hey, when there's really good, well-executed play and stuff that is really impressive, we see this as something that's impressive, something artful, something that's worth celebrating. It's kind of the was kind of the main idea behind that.
There's nothing inherently artful about play without player action.
Fire
Take
Emblem.
strategy RPGs such as Fire Emblem, for example, which we may think of in a similar light to chess. Without any player input, all that exists is a map with units on it, and the countless possibilities for how the attempt to clear this level may go.
Like, if I don't touch anything, nothing happens here.
Academics take in the debate
Nothing
of
artful
games
going on
as
here if I
art
don't touch
is
it.
that unlike other conventional media, the artist, or game designer in this case, is not handcrafting the exact experience they know each member of the audience will be subject to. Rather, they must take into account the emergence that comes with play, that is, the differences in play experience. The aspect of emergence in play does not create the distinction that video games cannot be art, but rather, it creates the distinction that the artist is not only the developer, but the developer and player.
So that was one of the key arguments that I wanted to make with this essay. And in this part, I bring up that, hey, one of the main reasons why a lot of academics say that games can't be art is because of the emergence of play, where there could be so many different things that happen. Like, my experience here could be, like, turtling here for 3,000 years, and someone else might not have that experience. It might play out differently, so the developer doesn't get to handcraft the exact thing that everyone gets to experience. And I mentioned earlier how there was a later paragraph where I delve into that a little bit more in depth. And I do realize that if I had gone at this video essay from the ground up outside of the university assignment, I probably could have formatted this better to do all of this in the later paragraph. But this is just the way that it was in the initial version, where here's play as art, here's narrative as art. I need to have them both be short arguments that fit within a 10-minute time frame for my university submission. So this kind of had to get shoehorned in here. And it might seem a little bit awkward in the final video essay where it's like, here's a section on play as art. I briefly talk about how there's this emergence in play, and then I just return to it more in depth later after we go through the whole stuff on narrative. But it's kind of what ended up happening because of the way that I formatted it with my university submission version, where this needed to be part of things here. So I might format it differently if I went at the whole thing from the ground up, but I'm not going at the whole thing from the ground up at this point. And besides, this does still relate to the rest of this section on play as art anyway, talking about how it's all about the player kind of crafting their own uniquely artful experience that just gets delved into more in a later paragraph.
It is not the role of the developer to lay out exactly how everything will occur as in a film or book, but rather to lay the foundations for the possibility of artful play.
So get wrecked, Carvia.
A good map in a game like Fire Emblem will push the player to think outside the box.
We're almost there.
Execute carefully thought out strategies, discover the weakness in what seemed before to be an impenetrable wall of foes, to engage in artful play. Fixing a broken car
This is a
engine,
really
figuring out
long
a math
quote, but I
proof,
thought it was really
managing a
interesting.
corporation, even getting into a bar fight. Each can have its own particular interest and beauty. These
Sure,
include
let's
the
do this.
satisfaction
Whoops.
of finding the
Whatever.
elegant solution to an administrative problem, of dodging perfectly around an unexpected obstacle. These experiences are wonderful, but in the
Oh, it's a
wild,
pass
they
guy!
are far too rare.
Fine.
Games can concentrate those experiences. When we design games, we can sculpt the shape of the activity to make beautiful action more likely, and games can intensify and refine those aesthetic qualities, just as a painting can intensify and refine the aesthetic qualities we find in the natural sights and sounds of the world.
This was actually a really interesting reading, this scholarly paper that I read. I have no idea how to pronounce his name, but Nguyen, something like that. One of the things that he talks about in his paper is, hey, a lot of people think that there's this fun that comes with games because it's all about problem solving, the fact that we are presented these difficult problems to overcome. But why aren't we doing this kind of thing for real life problems as often? What with, what about going out and curing cancer or climate change, stuff like that? That's really difficult to overcome issues. Why are people who are playing video games not applying themselves into doing that? And this was one of the conclusions that I kind of came to, is that a lot of the time, whenever you're presented with difficult obstacles in life, there will sometimes be an elegant solution to that problem, like the artful way to get through it, like a really cool move in chess or other situations in a game. But these don't exactly happen super often in real life, especially compared to something like a video game, where a video game is specifically designed to focus on... Oh my goodness, they friggin' swapped with me! Where a video game can focus in creating these kinds of moments that really make you think, that go, how do I get out of this? And then find the elegant solution, like, I'm about to find the elegant solution to this here, just watch me, I'm gonna do it. That doesn't really happen as much in real life. A lot of the more important real life challenges feel like an insane wall where it's like, how can I even get past this? What the heck? Is this even possible to figure out? Like, the challenges are a lot harder, whereas video games are designed to be beatable. They are designed to have those elegant solutions and constantly give you that feeling of satisfaction of surpassing these obstacles that you get past. So what he's saying in this paragraph is that, hey, there's all these things that can have an inherent beauty and artfulness to surpassing them in real life. But in the real world, these things happen far too seldomly. And that's why people gravitate towards playing video games, because video games are a method of concentrating those artful moments into something that occurs more often. Gives you that satisfying feeling of getting through it a lot more often here. Like, look, there goes the bow knight, now I'm gonna get a level up and stuff. I found the solution to that. Whoa, isn't that crazy? Isn't that cool? I think it's a really interesting read. Anyone that sees this video essay and is interested in exploring the topic further, I would highly recommend checking out this reading and references. I thought it was a really interesting one. What this looks like may be different from player to player, which is played into by aspects of games such as difficulty modes, or games that allow for various different mechanics the player can employ to make the game easier or harder for themselves. Goofy goober.
Allowing players to select what direction they feel will create the greatest aesthetic experience for themselves.
Do you know how hard the difficulty settings on Metal Gear Solid 2 are?
I wonder if I should tell Cernal he's in my video essay.
Hard.
I'm sure he doesn't
Would you
mind,
recommend
but
doing them or not doing them?
Yeah, bump them up.
Pump them up?
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't think I'm doing this though, the game over if discovered.
No.
this is fine.
Yeah, I might pass on that there.
Ouch.
That one's a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
The beauty and artfulness of play is...
This little section that I have here is specifically on the topic of speedrunning as one of my examples of... Here's one example of how gamers celebrate and continue to explore further, like, this high ceiling for how much we can perfect a game, because there's something to celebrate about that, something artful about these impressive plays, and speedrunning being, like, the absolute ceiling of that. This entire paragraph on speedrunning, though, was not in my university submission version, because it is too long, and I feel like that, up to that point, already exemplifies, like, hey, games are a pretty artful kind of thing. So, yeah, there's that whole thing on speedrunning, and we're getting through this bit by bit here in the video game here, so I might just skip the whole paragraph on speedrunning. So here's, like, this doesn't seem like it'd be very artful, Link staring at rupees for 17 hours, but no, it's still seen as pretty artful. Oh, and then there's an example in my real-life Taekwondo stuff of, like, how there's something artful about impressive play, as I use that as an example.
Play, even if it is only the player's feelings towards their own play.
In my final version, where I included the stuff about Sakurai's game essence, that got shoehorned in here. So this little clip from Age of Calamity isn't even in the final version, because I had to rearrange some things.
If we did not believe there to be an inherent beauty to these displays of mastery and well-executed play, would we not simply care about the outcome and not the journey?
I thought
Games
the
turn out
Fragapalooza
to be a
tournament
way
there
of
was a
writing down
good
forms
one.
of agency.
This is another
of
very
inscribing
long
them
quote.
in an artifact.
I felt like
Games
it was
are among our
fitting.
techniques
Hey,
for
my res
describing
went up
and
and stuff.
recording bits of human experience. We have
Sure,
developed methods
lethality.
for recording stories, novels, poetry,
Imagine if I had the
film,
wrong
and
skills
other
on.
kinds of narrative.
Like,
We have
oh, I have
developed
to show on the
methods
top
for
screen.
capturing sights, drawing, painting,
I had to redo the whole
photography,
thing.
film. We have developed methods for capturing sounds, written music, recording technologies, and wooden duck calls. We have even
The
developed
examples
methods
the
for
guy
capturing
has.
sequences of action to be performed, cookbook directions, dance choreography, and stage
Miles
directions.
is fine. He doesn't care.
Games are a method for capturing forms of agency.
I'm
Games
dumb.
are the art form of agency.
I think that is a
The artful
really
nature of narrative is something
important takeaway from it as well. That was the main conclusion of the one guy's reading, and I feel like it's something that I really want to drive home in the essay is, yeah, when you think about it, that's basically the way that I see it now after all the research that I did, is basically like there is all these methods of recording different bits of human experience, but games are the way of recording agencies, like what you did, why, and that's really exemplified in like a save file that's the record of your own personal journey, you know. And then this is the bit where it gets into
that
narrative.
differs in the realm of video games compared to other media as well, and the nature by which it draws audience emotion. Narrative in a video game is inherently different from other forms of storytelling, as it is the only form by which the player is one of the characters.
Try and move someone else in there.
Outside of the argument that could be made for media such as choose your own adventure stories. Therefore, there will always
Maybe
be
I
an aspect
should-
of player agency in creating the narrative, whether that be by progressing a linear story through their actions,
Do this.
exploring a branching story based on their own choices and play, or
Yeah.
even piecing together the story themselves, or
Like in the
perhaps
Metroid
even a
Prime video
combination of
essay.
different storytelling formats. A linear story seems the most questionable for how exactly the narrative is co-authored, so that's what will be discussed, the
This
ideas from
works.
which can still be applied into other narrative approaches. A linear story still remains the most handcrafted experience a video game can go for. The writer has a strong control over what it is
lethality.
the player is going to experience. However, it is still through the player's actions that the story is uncovered, by clearing the challenges presented to them as they assume the role of the playable character, which allows
That's
for
fine.
storytelling possibilities not present in other media. We often hear it said that films can break the fourth
Yeah,
wall
go ahead and do
through
this
techniques
about.
such as directly addressing the audience, but
just
the
deal
wall
with it.
remains. It is ontologically impossible for the audience of a film to break the wall. Video game technology has allowed artists
Just in
to
case.
experiment with solutions to the problem of how to make an interactive movie.
Oh.
Video games are the first con-creative mass art.
That's one of my
Video
key
games can
takeaways as
embrace
well.
having the player mentally place themselves into
Is
the
the whole
shoes of the character
co-author
they play as.
concrete
For
situation.
example, in Firewatch, we begin
Here's my
in a
Firewatch
text-adventure
example
game
that
style
I
as
was
we learn of the playable character,
required
Henry's
to
story.
play in some
We
way.
are presented options that seemingly shape the outcome of his life, such as what kind of dog to get. Ultimately, these choices change next to nothing, but it imbues in the player a sense of agency and control over Henry's life. That we are
I'll
no
just
longer
let this
a member
example
of the
finish, I
audience of
think.
the story, but rather an active part of it, as Henry and we are one and the same, which is then reflected in the emotions we feel during play, that would not be present were we simply an audience member.
They wish I was over there. It'd be nice to be near somebody.
I think my groans of increasing discomfort there were really good at exemplifying my point. So thank goodness that I did that groan when I was streaming. My goodness. Because the point was like, yeah, when you place yourself into the role of the character, when the game really draws you in to embrace that you are this character, that then makes you feel things when you're presented with these kinds of situations that you wouldn't feel if you just considered yourself a member of the audience rather than an active part of the story. And then there's Delilah on the radio being like, I wish I was over there. And Henry that has a wife back home, but she's suffering from dementia and barely even remembers him. And there's the option of stay silent or say me too. I'm just like, the groans of increasing discomfort intensifying there were, thank goodness that I groaned in that moment because it turned out to be a really good example for the video essay. So yeah, there's the little sneak preview of that then, I guess. Here, can I minimize this? Cool, because now we've got more Fire Emblem stuff to do. So yeah, that's the video essay that I've been going ham on and trying to really exemplify. This is what's uniquely artful about video games. So I really hope that's able to resonate with a lot of people in a couple days when I publish the full 42-minute thing. There. Also, video games as a creation require many different art forms to coalesce. Music, writing, art, gameplay design, all that comes together. Even in the worst games ever made. Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into it. That's the kind of thing that I didn't delve into all that much since it's not Well, I guess you could say that something sort of uniquely artful about a game. You could also say that kind of about film stuff as well. So I don't talk about it too much in the essay, but yeah, there is a lot of work that goes into bringing a game together for sure.